Yep, it's that time, everybody. Welcome back. Rudy with Alpha Investments. And every single week, every month, every quarter, we go over the official Hasbro quarterly big shots and fancy suits on the top floor of the Ivory Tower. And that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, we're going to just look at this. And as always, it's always interesting to look at this stuff because you really see a lot of, well, that's surprising. Well, that's not surprising. So yeah, look at that thing. 1.1 billion in cash. That number is just, that always just kind of gives me like it always makes me just stop and go, maybe we should raise booster box prices more. Yeah, it's such a big number, man. Anyway, so the next thing is, as you can see, they are still saying Magic Digital and all digital games as a whole. The selling virtual cardboard to Timmy's is clearly the future. We don't have to ship anything. We don't have to do any of this logistics, the weight. We don't have to deal with card curling and card stock quality. You can tell Hasbro loves the digital direction. It's 2019. I mean, can you blame them? It's easy money for all these companies. So that's the first thing I see over here that makes me kind of go, wow. So again, they're starting off talking about the future of digital magic, and I mean, that's not surprising at all. Is that surprising to anybody? That shouldn't be surprising to anybody. So, next thing. Let's look at this next thing here. So now, when we look at this whole thing in the middle here, tariffs. So they're blaming tariffs here. Okay? So as most companies are with their weaker earnings or whatever it may be, tariffs are the problem. Oh, tariffs. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure there's some degree of impact, but I mean, I don't genuinely think a lot. I mean, I guess a lot of the toys and plastic items probably are made in China, but I don't think a lot of like magic related is really affected. But anyway, so the next thing, look, they still say here, growth in MTG card and digital. So they are claiming still at the bottom here that magic, paper magic, and digital magic continue to go neck and neck parallel and be successful. I mean, they're saying that both of them are surviving and they're getting along just fine with each other. The communities seem friendly with each other, holding hands, going to the park, a little lava claw action. It is what it is. So look at the next thing here. So overall, they seem to, I mean, it seems to be very, I mean, overall, look at it. So last thing here, I thought it was interesting. They're blaming a big hit here on foreign exchange fees. You see this thing? $65 million in the last 12 months on foreign exchange fees. Now this is, I want to pause right there and comment to a lot of you out there, because I get a lot of patrons, shameless Rudy plug, got to do in every video. The patrons send me messages, say, Rudy, why are people buying bonds at negative interest rates? Now you have to remember, a lot of people who buy bonds, this is off topic now for like 10 seconds, a lot of people who buy bonds that have a flat or negative or little to no return, they may not be buying in the native currency, they may be not buying in that home currency. They may be exchanging it from an outside country, and through the exchange rate, that negative yield or that flat yield may be a better return than what appears to be on the surface. So just a fun fact there for all of you been curious about this bond environment and interest rate environment. So obviously here Hasbro is blaming, they took a nice, not blaming, they took a nice hit on foreign exchange from getting paid in other currencies and converting it back to the US dollar. And I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, but I'm assuming it's probably because the dollar is very strong. So they're losing some of their money when they bring it back home. All right, so next thing, let's look at this next thing over here. So we got Hasbro Gaming Performance. Okay, so over here on the Hasbro Gaming Performance, anybody noticing the gaming category? Negative 17%? What? Yeah, so again, remember, when these large corporations report their information, they give you these earnings, always remember a few things, everybody. They're going to be as vague as legally possible. They want to spin things as positive as possible, and they want to give us the least amount of information as possible to make them look in the best angle of lighting. Always remember that when you deal with very large corporations who have, teams of attorneys, teams of accountants who prepare this kind of stuff. So remember that. But I have to admit, no matter how you want to spin this, negative 17% in Hasbro Gaming, holy crap. Because that does include Magic the Gathering and other types of just different gaming-related things. Now, again, when large companies own so many conglomerates and subsidiaries, you don't really know what's good and bad, and they do that on purpose. It's the same thing as trying to find out the exact number of A, B, or C they sold. They don't have to release that specific type of information. Therefore, in situations like this, they're doing the same thing. But, I mean, Ouch. Good. That's just such a scary number. So my speculation on that whole thing, which I think I'm going to be right on here, my speculation looking at that is I actually think you're going to see in some of these next slides, there might be some truth to it, a combination of, well, quite frankly, some of the sets may not have sold as well as Core 20, did not sell as well as previous sets, you know, when you compare it to like War of the Spark or the Ravnica or, of course, previous years. In addition, higher shipping and logistics costs, which they do cite in the next few moments here. Don't forget the Timmy editions where they had to send out and spend fortunes handing out print sheets, reshipping, spending a fortune on shipment and logistics and warehouse and labor. So I do believe some of these expenses, this is my speculation. Obviously, they're never going to tell us the truth, but my speculating Rudy world, I think a lot of that is related to some of the screw-ups along the way. So let's go over here to the next thing. What do we got here? Entertainment, licensing, and digital stuff. Okay. We got, of course, you know, positive. We got more revenue. We raised the price. We are squeezing the Timmies in the face. Of course you are. Because, of course, throwing Drano golden boxes, Timmy boxes, special boxes. Again, what do? The prices as a whole, the overall revenue, the top line, the gross number is higher. Even if your sales are lower, all you gotta do is just keep raising prices. You'll compensate and hide the number. So that's my opinion. Next thing, unfavorable. Look at this nasty unfavorable. Notice anything? High production costs. And of course, MTG Arena development R&D costs of Arena. In other words, Hasbro is saying we see the light at the end of the tunnel here. And let me tell you guys something. They're sitting here saying, look, Arena's making a ton of money. We're selling virtual stuff. We don't have to ship crap, like I've said before. We need to just pump resources and expand into a major, large, stable, with all kinds of different methods of playing, formats, different tournaments, seasons, special events. We need to milk this thing. This is probably their highest from gross to net margin. The actual margins on Virtual Arena, once the system's in place and developed, it's got to be astronomical. So as you can see, Hasbro is recognizing that, and they are really going for it. And I mean, can you really blame them? Can't really blame them. I mean, I'd probably do the same thing if I was a corporate ivory tower on the 114th floor. Can't really blame the people, can we? All right, let's look at this other little thing over here. We got another favorable, unfavorable square from their corporate presentation. Favorable. What a surprise. We got more money. Bob, what do we do? What? Lumberg said they just raised prices and raised MSRP. Oh, they got rid of MSRP. So we can just put anything we want to make the numbers bigger. Cool. God, I'm in the wrong field. All right, next thing. Cost cutting. Shocker. We made more money by raising prices, and we made more money by cutting the costs and the labor and doing more automation and making crap cheaper. Shocker. What, boy, geez, never saw that coming. Unfavorable. Oh, look at this. Higher shipping costs. Gee, I guess shipping out thousands of uncut War of the Spark sheets and then reshipping another couple thousand from that got damaged in tubes and shipping and labor to do it. I guess that costs a pretty penny, huh? Oh, look at that. Yeah, so there you go. And look at on top, look at that. What is this? Oh, yeah, royalties. And gee, I wonder what that's related to. Disney, licensing, sending out other things, paying costs. So, you know, when I look at this stuff, I'm just saying, none of this surprises me. Obviously, we don't have a blowout quarter. And obviously, Wall Street was not expecting this. That's why the stock got penalized, slammed on one of the nastiest days today, and probably Hasbro's stock in a very, very long time. Very nasty day for shareholders. The full disclosure, I don't own any Hasbro stock. I really don't have any plans to. It's just not for me. But overall, I mean, when I see this as a whole, Rudy's takeaway of the whole thing is this. Hasbro loves Arena. They love digital. They did state that they're happy that Paper Magic, Tabletop Magic, and Digital Magic are working together and they're both growing. They said that. They both seem to be working. There's no hints of reducing one or increasing, well, I guess there's hints of increasing Arena, but there's no hints of reducing and getting rid of Paper Magic and its Magic's dying. All that stuff we've been hearing for 25 years. Magic has clearly slowed some. We're not having that explosive craziness that we had 6 to 9 months ago, but I think everybody already knew that. I think most of you watching this channel, we've all kind of noticed, didn't I? I mean, you guys remember about a week ago, I made a video saying, you know, calm before the storm. This is kind of a calm, cool-off period with the new formats and different things coming. So I just wanted to share this. None of this is a surprise. I mean, look, they said, hey, we got hit with shipping costs. We're putting more money into Arena. We're dealing with exchange rates, tariff problems, global problems. What do you guys think? This is pretty much kind of what I expected to happen. I don't see any surprises at all. I don't.